All right, well, I just left the office. I'm actually getting ready to pull into my house right now, and the reason why you're with me right now is because I want to show you a really cool video and give you a little peek at the house from the outside here. So just getting ready to pull in. When we get inside, I'll show you around a little bit, and then I'd like to show you a really cool video. People paid around $5,000 a piece to be at the workshop where I gave that presentation. So why don't we go on inside and have a look. Okay, so we're here. This is my house. Now I've been told apparently that if you do a bunch of video with different scenes and you go in different places, there's more of a connection with the audience. So that's why I had you driving along in the car with me. So gurus say you're supposed to do that. So hopefully that works. Hopefully you feel a better connection with me after we're done here. But why don't we go on inside here, and I'd love to show you this video. So this is my front door. Come on in. All right. So this is my house. Got the dining room over here, my living room to the left. You can't really see it. And then over here, this is the sitting area. This is where we're gonna sit down and watch this video. And then over here, you've got my kitchen. Can't show them the kitchen real quick. All right, cool. So why don't we come over here, have a seat. So what is this 1 hour video that I'm talking so much about? Well, basically, it's a video, it's a presentation that I did about my Easy Sales formula, teaching exactly what the Easy Sales formula is. And I outlined step by step the whole process. So hopefully by the time you're done watching this video, you actually have enough information to go out there, create your own Easy Sales video, and make a bunch of money with it. So before we ever even actually launch, which would be really cool. So why don't we go ahead and have a look, and we'll sit back and watch the video. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Keith Wellman. And I have a really cool presentation I'd like to share with you guys, and I hope you like it. Hope you enjoy it. How many of you have ever seen a video online? Pretty much 100% of you? Okay. How many of you have ever seen or purchased something as a direct result of watching a video online? A few of you? Okay. So the cool thing there is that there's this huge opportunity to use video to sell your products. Video is obviously massively huge. I don't think I even need to get into the video stats. It's almost ridiculous. But what's even more ridiculous is the small number of people using video to sell their products in a variety of different niches. So what I'd like to share with you today is pretty much a presentation on how you can put together your own video sales letters. And we're going to be talking about constructing your Easy Sales video. And I've called this the Easy Sales formula because of pretty much a couple of reasons. First, it's super easy. It generates massive amounts of sales with very little work. And I've put this together in a way that you could call it a formula, a blueprint, whatever you want to call it. But it's basically a step-by-step plan on how you can structure your videos for massive sales. So what is it? It's the process of using media in a simplified way to convert traffic into revenue. You don't have to be in front of a camera. You don't need a pro voice, and you obviously don't need to be a guru. Obviously, I'm fairly young. I don't have a great voice. There was a guy here earlier who had a great radio voice, real deep and just pretty cool voice. It's not very often that you come across somebody like that. Most of us aren't that type of professional voice, and a lot of you pretty good-looking people, but sometimes people can be picky. And the thing is, you don't have to have a good face. You don't have to get in front of a camera. You don't have to have a great voice. And all these things are very important for me. And what was even more important is that I need to be a copywriter, because I'll make a confession: I suck at writing copy. I really do. I've told my closest friends that for a long time. I'm like, man, I just don't get it, how you can write this awesome copy, and I'll sit here and write for days and have like a quarter of a page, and it's just, horrible. I keep having to change it and change it and change it. So you don't have to even be a copywriter, and it's made specifically for the everyday person, just regular Joe, regular Jane, to get out there and generate some massive money super quick. You guys ready for that? Cool. So it works. Here's a couple of screenshots that I took of some videos online, and when I took these, there wasn't that many people who were using this system, and now there's probably about 30 other examples of people who've used this system to create these videos. This is one that I did. Another one where a guy, he was giving me a testimonial there, called me Skywalker Wellman. And he had some pretty amazing results. He was getting, I think, something like, yeah, here it is right here, $21.34 per click. Can you imagine that? Every single person that clicks on your link, you're making $21 for? It's pretty impressive results. This is another screenshot from the video, and here's an email from Michael Cheney. The guy alone made $200,000 for me. He's talking about one of his affiliates. A single affiliate from this video made over $200,000. What's even more impressive is that when he launched this video, there was no big launch, there was no big advertising campaign or anything like that. He just put it out there and drove a little bit of traffic, and it did extremely well. And there's a lot of examples like this. Here's another example from a couple of students of mine who I taught this video formula to, who have a social media product. And they generated over $81,000 in under a week. A week later, they called me up and they said, we're up to over 100,000. A few days after that, we're over 120. I'm like, geez. So these guys, brand new, created their own product, didn't have a clue how to write sales copy, and instead decided, well, let's do a video because we don't have the money to pay a copywriter, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 to write professional copy for us that's going to convert. So let's try to do one of these videos. So I sent them my formula, and they were able to generate this kind of money. So here's some example niches, and I don't know if you can actually read these or not, but there's a ton of different niches you can do this in. Acne medication, audio books, auto loans, baby showers, car rental, casinos, I mean pretty much anything you can think of. Poker, dog training, pottery, all these different niches that this can work in across the board. So if you think that you're in a niche where, well, I can't do a big long sales letter, well, guess what? Everybody can do a video. And it's not like I invented video, it's been around forever. It's been around, well, since TV. But ever since the TV came out, people were using that form of advertising to connect with people. And the reason why is something about you talking to somebody either through your voice or through video or visual communication allows us to pay more attention to the marketing message that's being given to us. And sure, this works extremely well right now. And in my own example, I put together a video. The first time that I did this, I put together a video. I got an idea from another guy who did a video, and I was like, man, I should give that a shot. So I put together a video, and I was just telling this story to a couple of guys outside. And it was late in the evening, and I thought I got this idea, and I was like, I should try that. So I started putting together a PowerPoint, and I just went really fast. I wasn't trying to make it all professional because I really didn't think I was going to use it for anything. And I ended up recording it and was done in about an hour. I had it recorded, did a presentation, the recording, and uploaded it into my website in about an hour. And I thought, man, that was pretty easy, and this seems like it actually might sell something. So I sent an email out that night to a small segment of my list, about 2,000 or 3,000 people. And I sent that email out thinking that I was going to get a couple of sales. I was like, man, this would be pretty cool if I get 2, 3 sales, because then I can send it out to my whole list and make a bunch of sales, right? So I thought, man, if I make $1,000, $2,000, and I was doing the math, when I send this out to my big list, I can make a bunch of money. And I sent that email out, and I went to bed because I really wasn't expecting anything big from it. And I woke up in the morning to somewhere in the vicinity of like $40,000, something like that. And I was blown away because here I'm expecting like 2, 3 sales, and I ended up making a bunch of sales and generating $40,000 while I was sleeping for an hour of work from beginning to end. That's pretty awesome. So, of course, I sent an email out to my JV partners and said, you know what, you guys have got to promote this thing. It does extremely well. And so then my affiliates started sending out. And at first, I sent it to a small group, probably 10, 15, 20 people that I sent it to, 15, 20 affiliates. And they promoted it. And they did so well, how much money they earned because this thing converted so well, that they ended up telling their friends, who told their friends, who told their friends. Long story short, 5 days later, over $1 million in the bank. Actually, that's a lie. It was actually $997,000. So as I think I was like $3,000 short of $1 million. I wanted to say I did $1 million launch, but I couldn't say it. I almost bought through myself just to say I did over $1 million. But I think we can, yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with just shy. So the breakdown. First, we're going to be talking about your MDI and how this can increase your conversions by 300% or more. And you're going to want to take lots of notes. Okay? Then we'll be talking about the 3 W's. And copycats, people who try to duplicate this system without knowing the formula, almost always miss this, and it's super important. Shock demand, which is absolutely vital to the success of your video. How you can inject confidence. We'll talk about that in a little bit more detail. Product positioning. And I had to ask the question, why doesn't anyone ever teach this? And it's so important. I learned it the hard way, product positioning, over probably a few years of marketing online. Product positioning is extremely important. We'll talk about the Unreal Guarantee, and this could easily double your conversions. We'll go over the Bunker Buster. Your viewer is going to think you're a hero, and you'll learn why in just a second. Actually, in a few minutes. Your call to close, objection killers, the easy way, and order form secrets that you're going to need to know. Give you a few seconds. Okay, so your MDI, aka your $1 million intro. I call it that because I really think it's that important to have your intro super powerful and concise, and it's really got to hit your viewers. You need to grab their attention. I've done this using a picture of me and my daughter, and the reason why I think that that's so powerful is because it's sort of a pattern interrupt, right? Normally, people that see me are used to this part of me here, right? Just the top head, the little picture on the website. So all of a sudden, they see me and holding my daughter, who is absolutely adorable. So that's sort of a pattern interrupt. Oh, whoa, he's got a daughter. Oh, and she's cute. You know? So I think that's sort of a pattern interrupt, grabs their attention, and then all of a sudden it kind of throws them off. And that sort of gets them off of their toes and kind of opens them up a little bit more. Share who you are and show a picture of you for a connection. Okay? People want to know that they're talking to a real person, that they're buying from a real person. Regardless of what industry you're in, they want to know that you're a real person. We all like, when we're ready to buy, and you go to a store and you're ready to buy, you want to talk to somebody about it. You want to talk to somebody that's knowledgeable. How many of you have ever gotten that sales guy who sounds like he's making everything up? You know, you're at the store and you're like, how's this radio? And the guy's, you know, coming up with all sorts of things. You're like, this just sounds like complete baloney, right? But on the flip side, you get somebody who's sincere and a sales guy who knows what he's talking about. You're like, okay, I need to ask him all the questions. I want to talk to him before I make this purchase. Okay, so people like to connect with somebody. Be creative and tell the viewer what they're looking at. So with me in the picture of my daughter, I simply said, hey, that's, hi, my name is Keith Wellman, and what you're looking at there is actually a picture of myself and my daughter. It's that simple. Okay, so just that little bit can create a connection between you and your viewer. And keep in mind, people watching your videos online, some of them are thousands of miles away. Some of them are in completely different countries. And you're able to connect with them on a completely different level, so it's very powerful. So the 3 W's, who, what, and why. And of course, the who sort of ties into the who you are, and that's your intro, the, hey, I'm Keith Wellman. Tell them what they'll learn, or how they'll be able to achieve a desired result from watching. So this is the what. What are they going to learn as a result of watching the video? Give the visitor a reason you're putting this together, and that's your why. Why are you doing this? Why are you putting this video together? Keep it short but powerful. An important thing when you're using media, especially video, is that you keep the person's attention. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to have a bunch of animations and things flying and blowing up and all this kind of stuff, but it does mean that you have to keep their attention, and you want to have different things showing up on the screen. Maybe pictures, sometimes you want to have words, you might want to have some small animations if you're doing some kind of PowerPoint, but just kind of keep it moving, because you don't want to have you talking about, oh yeah, I'm Keith Wellman and I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm 28 and I've got a family. You know, you don't want it to drag on. You just want to kind of be right to the point, get to the necessary information. So examples of what? You're going to learn the 7 simple steps to winning No Limit Texas Hold'em. Okay? So that's an example of what they're going to learn. Another one, you'll discover a complete muscle shredding, belly busting solution to getting absolutely ripped in 30 days. How many of you want to get ripped? So that probably stuck out to you, right? Discover the system I use to sell over 50 homes in 21 days or less without a realtor. How many of you are in real estate? Pretty interesting? That sounds good, right? That keeps you wanting to watch more. Okay, so here's what's really going to happen. You're really going to sell them that system. Okay? So you're basically telling them, discover the system. Okay, you're not saying learn the system, because if you say learn the system, then you should probably be teaching it in that video. But I'm not saying that, I'm saying discover. And you can use your own wording or whatever, but you basically want to keep them watching and give them a reason to watch. I'm going to show you a system that I use to generate blah, 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 blah. Some examples of why. I'm doing this to prove once and for all that anyone can win at poker. I'm doing this because I was once the skinny guy being laughed at. Unfortunately, I still am. I have not bought that product. I'm doing this because I too once struggled selling my home and almost lost my shirt. Okay, so each one of those components are extremely important. All right, shock demand. The process of shocking the viewer and creating demand for your product or service. It's important in any market that there be demand for what you have to offer. And I don't like to leave it to chance. Because if you just create a product and you throw it out there and you hope people want to buy it, then if there's no demand, nobody's going to buy it. But if you can create that demand and shock the marketplace and create that demand out of nowhere, then everyone's going to want it, or at least a large number of people are going to want it. And so one of the easiest ways that you can do that is through creating scarcity. It's important to create a sense of urgency in the viewers. So you want to wake them up. If they have a way to put off watching your video, they will. What I mean by waking them up is simply, look, this video may actually be gone before you're finished watching it. And there has been cases where I've actually had videos up where I tore them down while people were still watching, and all of a sudden the video doesn't work, and they email us and say, the video is not working anymore. That's because we took it down. We've been telling you for a week that it was going to come down. Why are you telling us now? But that's one type of scarcity. You don't have to do that. You could leave it up and use other types of scarcity, which we'll go over. But if people have a chance to put off watching, or if it's a sales letter even, people will put off reading the sales letter for later. How many times do you put it in your favorites, right? And then never came back to it. So with video, it's a lot easier to keep them watching all the way throughout. One of the things that I like to do is actually have no controls on my video player at all except for a pause button. So they're able to pause the video, but that's it. So they can't rewind, they can't fast forward, which works really well for keeping people sitting right there. And if you take away the pause button and somebody's watched 10 minutes into it, they will never leave. So they're like, man, if I leave now, I've lost 10 minutes of my time. I'm going to have to rewatch that to get to the end. And if you've done your job, they want to know what's at the end anyways. You can easily create demand through scarcity, which should be reiterated periodically through your video. Keep reminding them. Keep reminding them about your scarcity, whatever you're using for scarcity. Use scarcity and shock your viewer to make them want whatever you have even more. I did this slide because of how important this piece of the puzzle is. Okay, some examples of shock demand. I can't let very many soon-to-be poker heroes in on those secrets. Obviously, they would become useless, so this video will come down very fast, possibly before you even finish watching. Okay? My muscle shredding system is powerful, and I've never offered up these kinds of secrets like this, so this video will only be shown to a small group before I take it down for good. I normally sell this powerful real estate selling system for several $1,000s, so it's important to let you know that I'll be raising the price back up very soon, possibly before you finish this video. Okay, so there's another example. You can raise the price. You can limit the quantity. There's takeaways where your package may include a whole bunch of things, but you might take something away. All sorts of different things that you can use for scarcity. Injecting confidence. You want to inject confidence in your viewers. Here's what I mean by that. Create confidence in the viewer's eyes as to your credentials, your background, and your heartfelt story. Go in depth on who you are and why you're doing your video. Okay? I'm Keith Wellman. I'm an internet marketer. Here's my credentials. I've been doing this for this long. I've got these case studies. You can go into a story. I got started online because I was a struggling working man, working 12 to 14 hours a day, trying to keep up with my bills for my family. And this sort of gets into the heartfelt story side. And I had a family that I had to support. And when I couldn't pay those bills and I was starting to get late charges, it was starting to get worse and worse. And the fear started hitting me that I may not be able to make those payments. That I may actually end up not being able to buy enough groceries to feed my family. That's a scary thought. And you know what? I decided that I don't ever want anyone else to have to go through that, which is why I've decided to do what I do today, which is teach you guys how to do the same thing. And that's my heartfelt story. And each of you should have your own heartfelt story. If you don't have one, don't make one up. But you certainly should be sincere in where you're coming from selling your product, or you shouldn't be selling it at all. If you don't believe enough in what you're selling to be sincere and have some sort of story that you can tell, then you probably shouldn't be selling it, regardless if it's yours or you're selling somebody else's. Give your credentials. I'm a doctor. I'm not a doctor, but I'm a doctor. Or I've got an MDA, or I've worked in this business for over 16 years, or so-and-so says, Oprah says that I'm the best internet marketer in the world. You know, any credentials that you might have that you can put in are going to help lend towards your credibility and give people a reason why they should be listening to you even more. Because what's happening throughout this entire video is that your viewer is sitting there thinking to themselves why they shouldn't be watching. And the entire time, you're convincing them to keep watching. Okay, so as I'm watching this video, I'm hearing you talk about how you're going to teach me a system to become a poker star. And I'm thinking to myself, what does this guy know about being a poker star? I've been playing poker for 4 years. You know, what's he going to teach me? And then all of a sudden, he says in his video, I've been playing poker for 20 years and have been called a grand expert by poker star Doyle Brunson. Oh, shoot. Dang. Okay, he's got a couple up on me. I'm going to continue listening to this guy. And then as he continues talking, I'm going to keep with my objections. Anytime I can come up with something to object or to give myself a reason to stop watching, I'm going to. And that's how you need to be thinking. Okay? So anytime you think that there could be an objection that your viewer might have, bring it up, raise the objection, and smash it. Get rid of it. Use lots of pictures to share your story, which keep your viewers engaged. Okay? We all love visuals. Okay? Just make sure it's relevant. Some examples of credentials, your BBB.org certified, Better Business Bureau. You can actually get certified or accredited, I think is what they call it, with the Better Business Bureau. I've been in business for a certain length of time. Here's some of the products that I've created. Testimonials that you might have lend you credibility. You guys are typing furiously. Okay, so what if you don't have any credentials? What if you're brand new? What if you're absolutely brand new to what you're doing? And you don't have any credentials, but you know a lot about what you're trying to get into, and you're ready to make your dent and make a bunch of money. You can borrow credentials from other people. Use a quote from an expert talking about you. Okay? If you can get an expert saying something good about you, use that. That's real powerful. Compare what you do to something huge. So let's say I have a social media site. Like I was saying, one of our students, the students that generated over $100,000 in about 2 weeks, they were into social media. They didn't have a lot of credentials, so they decided to use the social media explosion as sort of a borrowed credential. Social media is massive and huge, therefore we must be massive and huge too. Is that true? No, not at all. But psychologically, in the minds of your viewers, they're comparing all of a sudden social media is here and you're here, and then you talk about how you're developing social media product, all of a sudden you're sort of up there. So it helps to raise you up to where you need to be to have those the credibility to keep them watching. Quote experts to back up your data. Marketing expert so-and-so says this about social media. Bam. That's credibility, instant credibility, and it's not even yours. All right, product positioning. Like I said, a lot of people don't really talk about product positioning, but it's extremely important. You need to have a killer product that solves a real problem, even if it's not your own. You don't need to have your own product when you're doing this kind of video. You can actually create a video and sell somebody else's product. But if you do have your own product, it needs to be a real problem-solving product. Okay? It needs to solve a real problem. Over-delivery is key when building on everything the visitor would get with their purchase. Okay? So as you're talking about the product that you have, you're going to need to be over-delivering with them. Okay? You've got to list everything that they're going to get with the benefits. So you're going to get the Poker Stars ebook, which of course will make you a poker star in under 7 days and have you winning tables hand over fist, something like that. That's the benefit. Okay, so what they're going to get with the benefits, very important. Break everything down into modules. I like to really just make my package as big as possible. And then what I'll do is I'll break each part of this package into different modules, and then each module will have things that are included in it. Because then what happens, you might have, let's say you've got 6 things and you want to break it down into 2 modules. Well, you started off with 6 things, but now you've got 2 modules with 3 things under it. So it almost seems like more, and it's not really, it's just breaking it apart. But in the minds of people, it's helping to build that value up. Be creative and add as much value as you possibly can. Value is measured in what someone is willing to pay for what you have. Okay? Always remember that. Always keep that in the back of your mind. Value is not throwing a bunch of ebooks that have nothing to do with what you're selling in your package. Okay, I don't know how many times I've seen people selling like a gardening ebook, and then they're like, plus you're going to get the Make Money on eBay ebook, and you're going to get the How to Train Your Dogs ebook with private label rights. And it's like, wait a minute, these people are interested in gardening, not eBay and training your dog and all this other crap. Had nothing to do with the product. You might think you're adding value just because there's more products there, but it's not adding value in the minds of your customers. Value is measured in what they're willing to pay, not how much you put in it. The hook must be amazing. You have to have a good hook for your product positioning. Formulate a hook by researching exactly what your customer would want if you delivered the perfect product. I know you guys have seen this, the diet patch. That is a perfect product. Slap a patch on, lose weight, whew, can't get any better than that. Steroids, yes, the perfect product. Obviously some side effects. The perfect product. People want the perfect product. Take a pill once a day, you lose a bunch of weight, right? Is that really necessarily true? Probably not, at least not without some pretty bad side effects. But people, that's what they want. They want the magic pill. They want to be able to pop that pill and have their problems go away. So what are the problems your people are facing? What are the problems your visitors are having, your viewers are having? What are those problems? Solve those problems through your product and sell the magic pill. Okay? And I'm not saying lie. I'm just saying position it so that your marketing hook is sort of as close to that magic pill as you can possibly get. So if it's a poker ebook, you're going to sell them on the fact that you can teach them to be a poker star and win over and over and over in under 7 days. The hook there is that they're going to be beating all their friends in less than a week. Okay, so that's the hook. That's as close to the magic pill as they could get. What would the magic pill be if you could invent a magic pill that would make somebody play poker? Anybody? X-ray vision? That would be pretty good. So the perfect product to have somebody play poker might actually be X-ray vision. So you can basically see other people's cards. Guess what? That's a great answer, because now what? Now you can position your poker product in that way. Our product is so awesome that, in fact, after you're done reading this ebook, it will almost be as though you can see your competitors' cards. You're going to be so good at playing poker, they don't stand a chance. Bam, you've got a great hook. Awesome job. Poof, thanks for your help. Needed that one. Right? So that's the magic pill. So now, guess what? You all can formulate a great hook, because all you have to do is think of something impossible, which was X-ray vision, and then spin that. Did I sell them X-ray vision? Of course not. But I sold them something legitimate, okay? And I gave it a hook. I gave it spin. So everyone here can do that, right? Awesome. Start high, really high. We're going to talk about the price here. You want to keep your price point, your value, at least 10 to 20 times the actual price you're going to charge. Okay? So you want to start with a high price point. If you're doing $100, you might want to take it up to, I don't know, what's 10 to 20, $2,000, $3,000 maybe in value. Okay? If you're doing $1,000, you want it to be $10,000 or $20,000 in value. I like to put as much real value on it as I can. You don't want to exaggerate. You don't want it to be unrealistic, because if it is unrealistic in value, people are going to see right through that, and of course that all of a sudden takes your credibility down. Okay, so you do want it to be a realistic value, but you want to have it as high as you possibly can position it. You must believe in your product and the value it has to your viewers. If you don't believe in your product, nobody will buy from you. Okay? Prove that the price would be that much if they didn't buy through you. So this is another way that you can position. So if you were to buy all of this separately, if you were to buy this poker ebook from our competitors and get the poker software from our competitors and the poker cheat sheet from our competitors, it would cost you this much money. And if it doesn't add up to a lot of money, then you might want to compare apples to oranges. So then you might want to go a different route and say something like, look, how many hands do you lose a week? If you're losing $100 a hand and you play for a week straight, that's like $5,000, you know, something like that. All of a sudden you're able to compare apples to oranges, and wait, we're not even talking about the price of your ebook anymore, but in the minds of them, they're thinking, well, shoot, I'm already losing, I'm going to lose $5,000 whether I like it or not. I better buy this. At least I have a chance of winning, right? So that's great positioning. So be thinking about how you can do that in your own products, in your own positioning, okay? Prove that the price, okay, yeah, we said that once, so I'll not say it again. Create suspense, okay? So after you've built that value up, you've listed everything they're going to get with the benefits. There should be a pretty decent sized package at this point. Now you want to start, you've built up that value, you've said it's worth this much, but guess what? You're not going to pay that much. It's worth $10,000, but I'm not going to charge you $10,000. Cross it off. Next slide. In fact, I'm not even going to charge you $5,000. Next slide. All right, now just to bear with me here, because I forgot to tell you at the beginning, you're not in front of a camera this whole time. This is a PowerPoint presentation on your computer. You just type all this out. You don't ever have to get in front of a camera. You just have to talk into a microphone. If you don't like talking into a microphone, have somebody else who's really good at or really understands your product and believes in your product just as much as you do. Have them talking to the microphone for you. Okay, so you just got a PowerPoint presentation or a keynote presentation, and you're putting all this onto PowerPoint slides and nice bulleted list. And each time a new bullet comes up, it's changing the screen a little bit because that helps to change things up a little bit. And you can add pictures in there of your products or comparable products or pictures of competitors' products. And, slash it out. You're not going to pay this much. All that type of stuff that you can do. So next slide. You're not going to pay $3,000. Next slide. You're not going to pay $1,997. In fact, next slide. You're not even going to pay $400, or you're not even going to pay $1,000. Next slide. Right now, you can get this for just $497. So what you're doing there is creating suspense. Does it seem cheesy? Yeah. Yes. Does it work? Yes. Amazingly well. Okay? How many people think that those infomercial people should be out of business? Hi, I'm Bill. Yeah, geez. It seems so cheesy, but it works. And it works because you really are creating suspense. And here's why. Throughout this entire presentation, if you've kept them this long, they've watched all the way to that point. They're ready to buy. You've built up the value of your product, the packaging, the benefits. They're ready to buy. They want to know how much now. Okay, what's this going to cost me? Come on, give it to me straight. What's the price going to be? $4,997. $3,000. Come on, give me the price. Jeez. Okay, I'm sick of waiting. $497. Oh wow, that's a lot less than I would have imagined. So it really does work. So put each price on a separate slide, like I said. Display confidence with your price points. Dan Kennedy calls this brass balls. I apologize if that offends anybody, but that's just what he says, and it's kind of funny. You've got to have that kind of confidence when you're talking about your price. If you don't believe that you should be selling your product at that price, you probably shouldn't even sell it at that price, because it's going to be hard to display any kind of confidence. You need to believe in the value of what you have to offer. Some of the greatest marketers of all time talk about the importance of confidence in selling. We're talking about face-to-face selling or selling through a TV or radio, print media. It doesn't really matter. Marketers for a long time have been talking about how important it is to be two things, confident and sincere. And if you're both of those, you can probably sell just about anything. Price your product competitively. I found video sales letters to sell products from $10 all the way up to $2,500. You can really use this for just about any price point. The $497 products convert better than most $77 products. Could you imagine that? A $77 product converting at 2% is great. A $497 product converting at 4% is awesome. Don't be afraid to do a high-price product, okay? This scares a lot of people. Oh, I can't create a high-price product. Nobody will ever buy that. Yes, they will. I promise you. They will. If the value is there, and you can prove that what they're going to get out of it in benefits is greater than what they're investing, they will buy it. And if you can test higher prices, test higher prices. See how high you can go. Make it a game, because it's really quite amazing how high you can get in terms of prices for your products. And I know I've heard quite a few people talk about this, but I'll say it again. You always hear about Rolex. Well, why does Rolex cost so much money? Because they call it expensive. And expensive must mean really good. But it's not really necessarily true, but in our minds, that's the way we think. So it's not always a good idea to go $10. Sometimes it's better to go 500 or 1,000 or 2,000 or 5,000. Okay? Expensive is good. Okay, so your unreal guarantee. You've went through, you've sold them on the price, and now it's time to give your unreal guarantee. Create a guarantee that becomes a no-brainer. All right, we've tried the no refunds approach, and it doesn't really work that great. We've also tried the 6-month no questions asked approach. Sometimes longer is better. Okay. Yes, you can do it with an all sales are final approach, but we've tried it, and even a small guarantee seems to be better than nothing at all. People just really don't like all sales are final. I know I don't even like going somewhere to buy something when it says all sales are final. So you may want to stay away from that, but that's your call. All right, bunker buster. This is my favorite part of the video. This acts as a bomb in the minds of the viewer because it should be completely unexpected and wow them to no end. Blow their mind. This is the wow factor. This is what makes your viewer go, holy crap, I can't believe he's doing that. Just when your audience thinks you couldn't make the deal any better, make it better. And they do this on infomercials all the time. Right at the very end of the infomercial, you're like, dang, that's not bad, 1997. That's not bad. You get the whole shoe insert and everything. That's pretty good. But if you act right now, you're going to get not 1, not 2, but 3 shoe inserts. And if you really are fast and call within the next 2 minutes, it's not going to be 97. It's not going to be 67. It's not going to be 47. No, not at all. It's going to be 3 payments of $9.97. Holy crap. Right? They just added all that extra stuff in. That's the wow factor. That's like, dang, how do they even afford that? You guys ever wonder that? How can they afford that? Because their back end is how they afford it, just so you know. But I know I'm like, dang, that's crazy, But that's your wow factor. That's what really hits them. It's like, dang, he's really going to do all that. Okay, so there's a few ways you can do this. Offer up something that's nearly just as good as the main product. So some kind of additional thing. And if you want to, if you've got a big package, you got a bunch of stuff in it, just pull out a chunk of it to save for this. Okay? This can't be junk. Okay? It's got to be good value. You can another thing that you can do, which if you don't have anything extra you can throw in, is double your guarantee from 3 months to 6 months, or even drop the price in half. Okay? So you might have settled on $9.97 as your price, and they're sold on that. They're like, yeah, it's probably $9.97. Okay, yeah, that's not bad, and okay, it's got a good guarantee, but I don't know. But if you act now, the price is $4.97. Holy crap! It's half price. I'm definitely getting it. Okay? So once you've solidified something in the minds of your viewer, and they really believe it to be true, they're set on it. And if they're sold there, or almost on the fence, anything extra is going to knock them over. And I think that's why this section is so powerful. So, hey, look, we're offering you a 90-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. You know what? It doesn't get any better than that. But you know what? I've decided, because I really want you to know that the risk is 100% on me, how serious I am, I'm actually going to double the guarantee. You're not only going to get 3 months, you're going to get 6 months. Anytime during that 6 months, you can just call us up, email us, let us know, we'll send your money back. Just send the package back unwrapped. Okay, so lots of things that you can do there, but you want to have that wow factor. All right, your call to close. This is where you need to tell them to take action. You've just wowed their minds. You've just blown their minds with your bunker buster. Everyone know what a bunker buster is? Okay, bunker buster is like some kind of mortar round or something like that that goes through the ground and is meant to explode under the ground. And the reason for that is terrorists dig tunnels under the ground, and so the only way to get to them is by having a rocket penetrate the ground first and then exploding. Most rockets, or not rockets, but mortars, explode on impact. So that's bunker buster. It gets into your mind and then explodes. Call to close. Tell your audience what to do. Be very specific. Be specific, okay? Pretend like they have no idea pretend like they don't even know there's any buttons or nothing. Tell them specifically what to do, okay? We've made them type in a URL, which actually worked great. That was one of the best performing videos that I ever did, was actually just having them type in the URL to go to the order page. So in the video, I literally said, go to whatever.com/go right now to place your order before this offer is gone. Again, I'll mention scarcity 1,000 times throughout my video. Whatever my scarcity play is, I'm going to be mentioning it all the time. Once again, go to whatever.com/go/go right now. And I use /go almost as a subconscious psychological deal. Go, oh. So I don't know if that actually has any impact, but I haven't changed it because it seems to be working. So /go. Another thing that you can do is actually have a link show up underneath your video. As opposed to making them type something in, have a timed link with a little timer that makes the link show up towards the end of the video when you want them to click. Okay? And then they click that link and go to your order page. If you're selling somebody else's product and you're building up the value of somebody else's product and selling some affiliate product, then you just have that link go straight, you would have it drop the affiliate cookie and go straight to their order page. Okay? Tell them to click, type in, order, whatever it is, be very specific about what you tell them to do, and don't flinch, okay? You want to be just straightforward with them, so here's what you need to do. Right now, go to www.whatever.com/go, and you really have to say that with confidence and sincerity. Objection killers, okay? We've all got objections, and you've been trying to address them throughout the video as they come up. But now it's towards the end where you need to think of as many objections as somebody would have. Okay, if I were this person sitting here, ready to order, but I'm sort of on the fence, I haven't quite made up my mind and I'm not sure what to do, what would I need to hear to get me, to push me over and get me to click that order button? So you want to bring those questions up verbally and answer them. After your audience knows exactly what to do to order, remind them not to wait and order now. They won't miss anything, okay? So that's important too. Hey, look, I'm just answering a couple of questions, but look, this video is limited. It's coming down soon. This offer is limited. I'm raising the price, whatever it happens to be. So don't wait. I'm done. Go ahead and go right now. Remind them. And then start answering common questions they might have in their minds. Explain things in more detail. So one of the questions that I'll probably get is, does your package include this or this or this? In fact, it does include this or this or this. One of the questions I often get is this really guaranteed? If I don't want it, can I just really send you an email? Yes, you can actually just send us an email and we'll just go ahead and refund your money. It's that easy. We don't even ask you any questions. So anything that you think they might be thinking of at that point, just start asking the questions, answering the questions, and then every time you finish a question, so here's what you need to do. Go to www.whatever.com/go. Oh, another common question that I get is this. Answer the question. So here's what you need to do. Go to www and keep bringing it up. You guys might be thinking right now, I don't know how many of you guys have seen sales letters, super long, right? They all pretty much have these certain sections, and then you start to get towards the bottom where it's starting to be sold on it, and there's a link, and then you go a little further, and there's another link, there's further another link. There's a reason for that. It's repetitive. They're answering objections in those sales letters. But here you can do it verbally and a lot easier. Okay, so you're answering objections and then giving a place to go. Do the call to action again. Okay. So your order form overview. What should be on the order form? Okay, first, just to dispel any myths here, you don't necessarily have to have a fancy order form. I've done this with a completely ugly looking order form, literally black bars that say first name. It's the Infusionsoft order form. You know what I'm talking about? Yep. So it's super ugly, nothing on it except for their address info, name, credit card, and a little teeny button that says, I think it says order. And that's it. Like, I'm like, geez, this is the order form? So I've actually used this with that with huge success. And I've also done super fancy order forms with nothing on it except the credit card details and all that, except it's much prettier. And like every time you mouse over something, it tells you what to do. Like that's where you put in your first name and you mouse over the credit card. That's where you actually get the credit card number off your credit card and type that in right there. So that was really fancy. And then I tried what I'm going to show you here, where you've actually got sort of a pre-sales letter on top of your order form. So underneath you've got first name, address, credit card info, and on top you've got the whole, yes, Keith, I want to grab your package right now, et cetera, et cetera. I have a bulleted list right underneath that of what they're going to receive with the benefits again. So actually write that out. Here's, you're going to receive this with benefits, this with the benefit, et cetera. And then finally a clean order form right underneath that. And here's an example. This first one is my own, where you see there at the top I've got the, I want to take advantage of your program, and then right underneath that I've got, here's what you're going to get with benefits, and a value right next to it as well. The highest possible value that I can give it. And then underneath that, another one with the benefits and the value. And then as that goes down, the very next thing that they see is actually the credit card form. And here's an example from Sterling Valentine. I wonder where he got this. Who did basically the same thing. Yes, Sterling. And he had great success with this. Okay? But again, you can do this, which is kind of fancy, or you can literally just have whatever order form, or if you're selling somebody else's product, you don't even have to worry about that. Just send them to their order page. Okay, so the downsell or upsell. What happens after somebody purchases? Okay, they purchase your product for $1,000, for $500, for $100, whatever it happens to be. Do you need to have an upsell? No, but it sure does add a lot of extra money. Okay, so you're sort of missing out on a lot of extra money here if you don't have one. If you're going for a higher price, do a downsell. So if you've got like a $500 product or a $1,000 product, you might want to do a downsell where you're selling, let's say it's $500. You might downsell them on something in addition for $100 or $200. That seems to convert really well. With, of course, another video. Okay, and for your video, for doing a downsell or upsell, if this is a video that they're seeing immediately after purchasing your first offer, you don't have to go through the whole credibility section and who you are. Hi, I'm Keith Wellman, and I just want to tell you again that I've been doing this for this long. You know, you don't have to go through all that, okay? You've already done that. You've already got that out of the way, so you start right with the what you're offering, okay? And why they should watch and what you're offering. So I'm about to show you how you can use the product that you just purchased, and you probably want to start off with, hey, thanks for your purchase. I really appreciate your business. Now I'd like to show you how you can actually use that and what I'm about to show you to increase your sales by this much more, or improve your poker skills by this much more. You know, whatever you have to do there, but you're basically telling them why they should watch the video again, and then you go right into the system that you're offering, the value, et cetera, et cetera. You follow that formula once again all the way to the end. Okay? And if you're doing a lower price front-end product where it's maybe $100, you might want to upsell them on a $200 or $300, maybe $500 product. I've done a $20 offer with a $500 upsell. Worked great. Worked actually converted better than just having the $500 offer in the front, which is pretty cool to see. Upsells and downsells can double or even triple the amount of revenue you bring in. Okay, so this is like saying the students that I had there who had the $100,000 2-week time frame with their first launch like that. If they would have had an upsell, they could have brought in $200,000 or $300,000. That's a big difference. That's like 3 extra Mercedes. Right? That's pretty cool. So think about that, consider it. It's not necessary. I'm certain most of you would probably be happy with an extra $100K in your bank account. But if you want 200 or 300 and you're greedy, then go for that upsell, go for that downsell. It's okay. If you have something of value, you should offer it. Okay? I love this phrase by Matt Basic, who says, it's un-American. If you have something to sell somebody, and you're keeping it to yourself, and it's actually valuable, and it would be valuable to them, it's un-American not to sell it to them. I love that. It's un-American. So now I should sell you guys something. It'd be un-American of me not to. Okay, some quick points here. You can use OpenOffice or PowerPoint if you're on a Windows machine to create your presentation. Or you can use Keynote, which is on a Mac, to create your presentation for your video. You can use ScreenFlow if you're on a Mac, or Camtasia if you're on a Windows computer, to record your presentation. This basically records your whole screen, and then you can just pop that up on the web. You'll probably want to write this down. I found this microphone to be a really cool little microphone. Gives you that professional. You don't want to go to Walmart and spend $10 on a microphone. I mean, you can, and I've certainly seen it done with success, but you probably want to sound a little bit more professional. If you get your microphone from Walmart, It's probably not going to have that professional quality sound. You might hear a lot of popping and things like that. So I saw this microphone and checked it out, and it's actually really good. It's $50. It's the CAD and then U37 condenser microphone. CAD U37 condenser microphone. And that gives you that professional sound, and it's a little mic, and it plugs right into your USB port on your computer. Works on Windows or Mac, doesn't matter. And gives you that nice professional sound. So even if you have a really bad voice like me, it still comes across okay. Okay, you can use Audio Acrobat to host your video. They'll allow you to create a player right inside their website with just a pause button. This is literally everything you need from start to finish. You can record your video using Camtasia, PowerPoint, use your microphone, record it all. Once you're done with it, go to Audio Acrobat, click Upload, uploads it to them. They convert it and everything, make it all nice, and put it in a little player, and you just pop that player right on the website. Okay? So that's pretty much it. I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, my name is Keith Wellman, and this has been the Easy Sales Formula. Thank you.